Okay, what we have here, what we're starting with, a little short video, is the model 5925 Philco AM/FM radio from on or about 1950. 50 in the first prefix means it was 1950 for this model. So I'm told on the Philco line. So we have the 5925. I have the Sam's folder here I mean to show you. So we picked this up the other day, and show you the cabinets over here. The cabinet and the back, which surprisingly has the first polarized plug I've ever seen, although the polarization is gone with the addition of a replacement receptacle, plug there. But in any event, what you don't really want to do in practice is to just hit these with power after they've been sitting dormant for 50 plus years. So you always want to have a look inside first. This one I noticed. I'll get to what the issue is with this in a moment. You can see in the cabinet though there was some leakage from the wax capacitors in there, so I may want to replace a couple of those at least before I try to run this thing. The goal here is to have a calibration done on this, and this will we'll follow up with that in the later videos. What I've come to find thus far is this is a series set, has no transformer. The tubes are strung like a the old Christmas light strings, and the total of the tubes in series should equal on or about 117 volts or so, give or take. We won't go through adding up all the tubes now, but another thing about this one is it has a selenium rectifier, which is early. I don't know when those came out, but that does not have a rectifier tube in this. So okay, you get this radio, at a yard sale, a flea market, whatever, unrestored, and you want to try to get it going. Well, that's what we're going to try to do here, is give you a few tips on how to do that safely. First thing I'm going to do, the trouble I've had with this one, a couple of prereqs. This is a series set, so they recommend using an isolation transformer, which keeps you and the line separated. Okay, what else do I want to mention? I have a variac here to bring up the voltage slowly on this, but I've already done that. But what I want to get to is, and why I have the tube tester here, is I have a problem with the set. I found the original Christmas bulb in it for the dial light earlier, which is out. I'm going to take one of the output tube and test that in a minute. Actually, I'm going to test all the tubes, because the problem I'm having is, although I can get the dial light to come on, none of these series string filaments are lighting up. So there's an open in the circuit somewhere, and it's not the resistor in line with it. The 22 ohm resistor is in line with the rectifier there. So there's a couple coils. The dial light is not in series with the tubes. So trouble is, something in the tube string is out, and we're going to get to the reason. We're going to get the tubes to light up for starters. What I can show you at the moment is, if I turn this on, which it is, and I increase the voltage a little here, I do get my dial light to come on, which shows me I do have power here. However, none of the tubes are lighting up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to test each tube individually just to see if the filaments are there. I might as well test them. Painstaking chore of testing tubes, but in this case I have to, because I have no filament. The radio does not light up. And being a string set, we'll get to that. So Stay tuned and thanks for watching. Okay, the first tube here in the line, or at the end of the line, is the 50C5. The way you test the tube on this particular model is the chart tells you the corresponding settings for the 4 switches on the unit. So I'll go with the 50, that's the voltage, 35 for A, 2, 5, and socket number 1. Now that's already warmed up, so the emission is good on this, and I'm really looking for filament for the moment, and you rotate this for all shorts to see if the short indicator lights up, and you might tap the tube to see if you have any shorts going on. Grid emission, can be a problem on these 50C5s because they run awful hot. And after some time, you don't want any leakage on that. But we'll get back to that. This tube we're going to use. I just happen to have another 50C5 here that I know is good, but I'll go in and check it anyway. Next tube, I'm going to start at the other end of the string because I feel if the tubes are gone, the filament, it's going to be one at either end of the string. So this one's going to be the 12BA6, so let me give that a quick test here. BA6. $12.33.211. This tube tests good. I know this tube is good. Okay, back to the 12BA6. We'll lower the heater voltage down to 12. $33.211. Again, socket 1. That tube is lighting up. I'm really just going to speed this up a little bit because I really just want to check the filaments of all these quickly. Okay, third tube in, or second tube in, but third tube we've tested is the 12BA6, and I don't have a filament. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, but that tube is not lighting up. That tube is not lighting up. That's rare. I don't. Here's another 12BA6. That one is lighting up. This tube is from 1949. I can read the date, so that's an original. I don't know what you can see there, but that's an original 12BA6. This one tests good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go try to find a 12BA6 real quick. I may test this other tube here. Well, this is the 19 Charlie 8. I think I'll well, we can test that. Stay tuned whilst we look for a 12BA6. Okay, in less than a couple minutes there, I happened to come across these two tubes I had in a bag that came with some other thing. It's a 35C5, and the other one just happens to be a 12BA6. There is some writing on it, though. There's some writing on it, so let's test it. I'm just really concerned if it lights up. Could be bad, could be weak, could be something like that, but we'll get into that. It is lighting up, and it's coming up. While that's doing its thing there, I'm going to look up this 19 C8, which is something for the FM, I'm sure. Mixer, the oscillator mixer. C8. Okay, look at that. Let's see how this one's doing. This one tests. This tube tests good. Go back with the Philco one more time to try that. This radio may have gotten dropped or thrown or something because the bulb was bad in the dial light, which is common. But to have a 12BA6 go open like that is kind of rare. I've never run across that. So, that's the reason why the string doesn't light up. I'll test the 19T8 real quick. 19G C8 1943682. And tube testers are not a cure-all. Tube testers do not tell you the true story of tubes. They're just a general feel-good. When you have trouble with a set, substitution is always the best method. I've been told that since I was early on in this, and others have supported that theory. That is the truth. These folks that sell tubes tested on my tester or this and that, well, doesn't necessarily guarantee you that that tube is operating. This tube tests a little funky. It's a little in the weak range, comes up to questionable. It's coming up to the green. Okay, 19T8 C8 is going in. Now I almost guarantee, but I can't until we check it. I'm going to try this thing out. What I'd like to do first is the wax that I mentioned, capacitors, was this one over here. I don't know if you can see that in the shot. This one way up here by the power cord. Oh, you're out of camera there. And this one here, you can see the wax is all blown out of it. Most likely that's the coupler, the audio coupler for the 50C5. So that's what that's called. I have a good feeling that when I try this out now, it's going to light up. So let's remove the tube tester and give it a shot. Again, what we have here, I have the power cord isolated, the Variac, which I like this one because I can read the amps that the set is drawing in case of a large current draw. At least I'm aware of it. So here we go. I'll turn that off, And we'll just fire it up, see what happens. I do have some current on the ammeter over here, so that's a good sign that the tubes are lighting, and it's going down as I raise the voltage, so I'm pretty sure the tubes are lighting. And the tubes are lighting. Oh, let's see what we get here. A little more. Nobody? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Antenna helps a little there. Let's put a clip on that.
Admission on and beautiful scenery along 55 miles of trails. For information, go to visitmaine.com. It's Morton warming.
All the time I can watch the current that the radio is using is not to cook anything quickly, but I'll go up to full power here.
So Mortensen will start to warm up with a little more intensity here as Chris Davis gets in. Davis has been the story for Baltimore in the early going. Tonight in the second inning, he hit his 6th home run of the season. Drove in his 19th run already. A mammoth bomb. The pitch. Check swing, and it fouls back. A little dribbler back behind the plate for a strike. His home run on a 3-0 pitch with 1 out in the second inning cleared the Red Sox bullpen in right center field on the fly and went several rows in the green bleacher seats. And it was a high...
Try FM here. FM seems kind of dead. Oh.
The good-looking radio guy you love to hear. Okay, I added that part. So call, visit a branch, or click Grainger.com/GE Life today.
Okay, we'll stop here.
For a Roman emperor, I bet you thought actually had to be rich to live like that, right? You You don't have to be rich. You just have to stop by Casa Stone on Route 9 in Shrewsbury. They are a complete design center under one roof with hand-selected granite from around the world.
We have FM towers here about
Winning backsplashes, custom cabinets, and
100 yards away or so. Well, maybe a little further away, but that station usually comes in on your toaster, for crying out loud. It's so strong, but that's why we're going to align the FM. So
or stop by Casa Stone on
we'll get 2 stations on FM.
so it's an empty house.
Smart has the top range you need for a beautiful lawn and garden, like Miracle Grow.
Okay, that's a wrap on the Philco for now. The Philco 5925 is operational after having one filament out in the 12BA6.
Midtime Magic is presented by Jordan's Furniture.
Thanks for watching.